Hello, SquirrelTribe. So listen, this video is not like my normal videos. So let me just give you a heads up. This is going to be kind of about stress and mental health and things like that. So if you feel the need to click out or leave or whatever, I fully understand. No worries at all. I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things that I think are very important. So normally we talk news related things over here, right? And I realize that over time, and we've had a conversation kind of like this already, but I realize that over time, news can really stress people out, like seriously stress people out. And I know this is crooked and I'm sorry I have this in a new space today and hopefully it won't fall. The downside to life, I guess you can say, is the amount of stress that we are all under. It's not just me. It's not just you. Millions upon millions, probably billions of us throughout the entire world are stressed on a almost daily basis. You wake up stressed, you go through the day stressed, you go to sleep stressed, you dream stress, right? And it's just this cycle that continues on. And I know it's gotten a lot worse for a lot of people over the last few years with the pandemic, C-19, all that other stuff, with people losing their jobs, with people dying, with people getting sick and not recovering correctly, with people having to do things to their bodies in order to keep their jobs, with people not doing things to their bodies and then losing their jobs. All these different things have started this like stress wave. And it's not like it just started, obviously, in 2020. People were stressed before that. But I feel like as a whole, the stress has just kind of reached a new high level. You take into the consideration of everything health-wise the last couple of years. And then you add in inflation. And then you add in everything that's going on in the world with the wars and different, I guess you could say, gangs throughout the world, Haiti especially. You look at what's going on in Israel and Hamas and Palestine, all those places. You look at what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. Just stress. Look, this thing is falling. So let me try to, y'all don't mind me. Oh gosh, as I break my car. Let's try to fix this differently. Don't mind me. Sorry. Hang out here for just a second while I try to see if I can get this thing to work. Nope. We're gonna pause. All right. Sorry for that. Hopefully this is better. Hopefully this one won't fall. So what was I saying? Okay. So we're talking about everything that's going on. People are stressed, right? Whatever. It's not just society related stresses. There are personal stresses, obviously, like, losing your job, whatever else. But there's this woman that I follow on Instagram, and she's on YouTube. She's also on TikTok, but I don't ever really get on TikTok for anything. I'm never on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that. I'm generally speaking YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. And her name is Elise Myers. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her, but I'm a huge fan of hers because she is somebody, a female, who is dealing with anxiety on a daily basis. And she's constantly trying to figure out how to make it less stressful and make it more of a comedic kind of thing. Try to bring comedy to the stress of life, which is, if you guys notice, a lot of times I'm sarcastic because for me, sarcasm and comedy kind of make things, in my opinion, less scary, if you will, less stressful. I have another channel. Some of you may be over there. I know a lot of you are over there. SquirrelTribe 2.0. It is just my way to let go and release and kind of vlog style, if you will. And I talk about all kinds of stuff. I talk about the stress that I deal with. I talk about anxiety. I talk about mental health. I talk about family and love and religion and just random things over there, right? Because everybody needs a sort of a getaway or a gateway. Gateway sounds wrong. Getaway or safe space. I'm not really quite sure what to call it. For me, it's more of my way of being able to just unleash and release, I guess is a nice way to say it, right? But Elise Myers, I've been following her forever because, like I said, she is a mom. She is a female. She has anxiety. She deals with anxiety and what's the word? Panic attacks, things like that. And as somebody who deals with a lot of those things, I find her somebody I can relate to. So I watch her a lot, right? And I noticed today that on her Instagram, she put that she's taking a break. She'll be back. She's taking a break. She got like 3.8 million followers over on Instagram and she's taking a break. All of her stuff is private. Everything is gone off her page for now. Nothing is there. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Go over to her TikTok, which I don't use TikTok, like I said, but I do have the app. I do have a channel on TikTok. I just don't ever put anything up over there because I don't really like TikTok, right? Personally. But I know she has a TikTok and I go look over there and I think she's got like 8 million TikTok followers, and she's done the same thing. She says, I'm taking a break from this app, from this platform, and everything is gone off of her TikTok page as well. She has a YouTube channel, and the last thing she put up was like 11 days ago. And I'm hoping that she's staying over on YouTube, but I have a feeling that she's taking a break on every single platform, because sometimes you just have got to take a step back from everything. And she found out a couple months ago that her baby, her child that she has something wrong with his heart. And so she has been dealing with that, and she's been very public with it and things like that. And I can guarantee the stress of what's going on with her child, the stress of people in the comments sometimes aren't the nicest people, not always, but you guys have seen it in comments. Not everybody has a heart or a soul. You know, some of them are just awful humans. And so I'm sure she's dealing with that too. So she is doing what she needs to do for herself. This woman who is incredibly famous, like just for being herself. Celebrities are always talking to her. She's got celebrities and stuff on her stuff, but she's still so incredibly grounded and down to earth that it's absolutely ridiculous. But even her, she's like, I can't do this. I have to take a step back, because people's mental health, I think now more people are realizing that the amount of stress that people are dealing with, it not only affects you physically, like people, I don't think a lot of people realize that the more stress you have, the easier it is for you to gain weight. I think it's cortisol. Cortisol is what stress releases, and it makes you gain weight. It holds on to fat and all this other stuff. Stress can cause all kinds of physical issues with you body-wise. It can make you lose your hair. Your sleep is off. You know, it can mess with your heart rate. It can mess with just all kinds of things. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the more stressed they are, the more it not only affects their physical, but then it starts to affect them mentally. You don't realize that when you're stressed, you walk around with like this face, right? Like the oh no face, the oh shit face, the I'm worried face, the I'm stressed and I don't know how to smile, be happy face. A lot of people don't realize they're doing it. And then it starts to affect you mentally, and you wake up, and because you're stressed, you don't wake up happy and excited to, you know, sling your feet out of the bed and touch the ground and hit the day running. You wake up with the, oh no, gosh, we got to do this again. How am I going to deal with this? I don't have enough money to pay this bill. You know, my kid is sick. You know, my spouse is without a job, or my spouse and I are fighting. My kid and I are fighting. I'm, you know, unhappy, all these different things. And it starts to affect you mentally. The stress of life starts to affect you mentally, and more people are having, I don't want to call them like mental breakdowns, but just people are realizing more and more that it's a lot of stuff is beginning to become too much, if you will. And I think it's because we are, as a society, I'm going to talk about here in the United States, because I don't live in other countries, so I don't really know how it works there. But here in the United States, we are basically made to believe that our lives are here. We're here to work and make money and pay taxes and buy things and, you know, have a home and a car and 2.5 kids and all this other stuff. That's what we're here for. And I think a lot of people believe it and buy into it because it's shoved on us so often, from, you know, kindergarten through whatever year you get out of school. And then even then in movies and TV shows and newspaper things and magazines, everything you see is telling you that you have to do more, be more, so you can keep up with the Joneses, so you can have the best of everything. And, you know, you need the best car, the best computer, the best clothes, the best house, the best, all this other stuff. And we end up becoming just this rat race society who forgets that the point to life is living. The point to life is loving. The point to life is enjoying it, right? My husband and I, Kevin, you guys have heard me talk about him. A lot of you know him through YouTube, either my videos or his channel. But we have these conversations all the time, because when I was younger, I thought that what I wanted in life was as much money as humanly possible, so I could travel everywhere and do everything and whatever else. And I wanted to have the job where I was top dog and everybody looked up to me and I made a ton of money and I got to make a bunch of big decisions and whatever else. That's great. That's not a bad want, you know, when you're younger. Now that I'm older, I want enough money to pay my bills so that I am debt free, and enough money to make sure that we have what we need to have whenever we need to have it. I don't need $1 million in the bank. I don't need a big house. I don't need to have some, you know, CEO job where I'm over everybody else making buttloads of money, like, you know, whatever. For me, the older I get, the more I realize that the stress of trying to live up to what society says the standards are for being, you know, happy, society standards of happy, they aren't what I want to live up to. I don't want to be a Kardashian. I don't want to keep up with the Joneses. I do wish my hair didn't look like it did, but that's fine. I want to wake up in the morning and know that my child is safe and healthy and happy. My husband is safe and healthy and happy. I am safe and healthy and happy. And that's it. I want to enjoy time with my family. I want to eat good food. I want to go to sleep with a roof over my head and a bed to lay in. And I want to wake up knowing that I am loved and I love people. Like, I don't feel like that's too much to ask for, you know, but I do understand that in order to have all those things, I do need to have money and blah, 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 blah. We all understand that, right? But I feel like people stress themselves out so much thinking that if they don't have the best of everything, that people are going to crap all over them for not keeping up with what society says they're supposed to be at, where they're supposed to be in life. You know, you've got 25-year-olds out there working at McDonald's flipping burgers and people telling them that they aren't shit, that they aren't worth anything because that's all they're doing. And it's like, just because that's what they want to do doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. What if they don't have bills? What if they have found a way to live a very minimalist, low bill lifestyle? And this is all they need, is to flip burgers at McDonald's and live their life and enjoy their friends and their family and whatever else. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there is nothing wrong with the person who wants to work 100 hours a week to be the CEO or to run a business or to do these other things so they can have the yacht and the $1 million home and the best clothes and all the jewelry. There's nothing wrong with that either if that's what makes you happy at the end of your day, right? But a lot of people right now are very stressed with where we are as a society, where we are as people, where everything is, because you see so many things on social media, especially, and people fake shit all the time on social media. I need people to understand that. I quit looking at a lot of things on Instagram because when I was, lifting weights like crazy back in the day, I was in extremely good shape, but I let it get to me and I was constantly comparing myself to other people. I was stressing myself out if I gained half a pound. I was stressing myself out if I went over my calories or my macros for the day. And every picture I look at of myself where I was physically looked the best I've ever looked, I wasn't smiling in any of them. Now I physically am the second biggest I've ever been in my life. And all my pictures with my family, I'm smiling because I'm happy, because I let the stress melt away in that sense. I stopped stressing about that kind of thing. But a lot of people focus so much on social media and who has what and everything else. And they forget that a lot of times it's not real. There are so many people out there on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, on whatever else there is. And they fake it till they make it because that's what they want in life. They want to portray a person that they're not because they want people to like them or they want to make money from it or whatever else. I don't know how to do that. I am unapologetically myself. I am going to tell you what I do believe in, what I don't believe in, who I agree with, who I don't agree with. And I'm not going to change those things just if somebody doesn't agree with me. And I think that that stresses people out as well. So many people are worried about how people are going to view them, that they will sway who they are so that more people will like them and agree with them and want to be near them or be around them or whatever else. And that's just another level of stress that people are adding to themselves that then affects their mental health in the long run. Because at the end of the day, like here for me, for YouTube, at the end of the day, if I lose YouTube, okay, YouTube's gone. I have my family. I am still happy. There are other people out there who, if they lose their social media, if they lose their standing in society, if they lose their place in their group, they aren't happy anymore because they haven't, I don't want to say built up a real anything in their life, but I feel like a lot of times people get so caught up in being who they think they're supposed to be that they forget to be who they want to be. And that stresses people out to no end. I used to be that person. In my 20s, I wanted to be who everybody wanted me to be, a people pleaser like you wouldn't believe. I've always been a people pleaser because I don't like it when people are unhappy. But I have learned over time that in order to make sure other people are happy, I still have to be happy with myself and make sure that I am sticking to what I believe in, what I think is right and things like that. So here on this channel, It sucks sometimes. You guys may notice that some videos, it kind of feels like I'm forcing myself to do it, because I am. I don't always want to bring you guys bad news, but unfortunately the news is designed to scare and aggravate and worry people. If I were to make a video, Norfolk Southern, let me just throw this one out here. So Norfolk Southern has reached a $600 million settlement for East Palestine, like they're going to pay out. If I title a video, Norfolk Southern agrees to $600 million for East Palestine, guess who's going to click on it? The 5 or 6 people who give a shit about that. If I title it, I can't believe what Norfolk Southern just did to East Palestine, more people are going to click on it, and it's not your fault. And I need people to understand that it's not your fault that you prefer to click on the things that are designed to scare you, worry you, trigger you, whatever. We are being programmed that way from everything there is, from the news, from movie titles, from TV shows, from, YouTube videos, obviously, from articles in magazines and newspapers and whatnot. Nobody gives you the straight answer of what it is, and nobody gives you the happy fluffy. Everybody gives you the negative, because that's what people are like kind of programmed to click on. And it really sucks, because I don't like doing it. Then some people get upset when I have to title things a certain way. And it's like, trust me, I understand. But if I title it a different way, you're not going to click on it. Not because you don't want to know it, but because your brain, the way we are, we're hardwired. It feels like hardwired to go towards the negative versus the positive. If you look at stuff on YouTube right now, the channels that have the most negative titles and negative whatevers have the most views versus the positive ones. And thumbnails where people are smiling don't get clicked nearly as often as thumbnails where people are like, oh my gosh, like it's the end of the world. And it's unfortunate, because all it does is continue to add to the stress of everybody, adds to the stress of the creator knowing that they have to make it like that, adds to the stress of the viewer because they click on it, knowing that it's going to stress them out a lot of times. And I try very hard personally not to have super stressful titles, but I have to find that happy medium if I want anybody to watch the videos, right? But inside the videos, I never try to stress anybody out. I just talk to you the way I would talk to my husband, my kid, my mom. And if it turns out that I get stressed while talking about it, unfortunately, that's going to relate to you guys. But again, a lot of times I try to be more sarcastic and comedic, because to me, that helps de-escalate the stress. But it's very hot in this Jeep right now, and I refuse to turn it on because I don't want to sit there and like the camera shake, but I'm like a little toasty. It's like 70 something degrees here. We have storms coming in tomorrow. So this is the most random thing, but this is going to stress a lot of people out. We have storms moving in tomorrow. I got a text message from my daughter's school district, and they said, hey, we're releasing students an hour early tomorrow because of severe storms that are coming in, because they don't want the kids getting off the bus in the severe storm and having to walk to their homes. And I personally appreciate the crap out of that. A lot of people appreciate it, but it's going to cause a lot of issues for a lot of people. I work from home. I have the ability. I take my child to school every morning and I pick her up every afternoon. I take her to school. The man and I, my husband, we pick her up in the afternoon and we do family stuff every single day without fail. And we have that ability. A lot of parents are at work, right? And they rely on the normal school time to get out for them to leave to go pick their kids up, or they rely on that school bus to drop them off at a certain time because they have an older brother, an older sister, or whatever else who can be there before they get there, things like that. So when the school makes that 1 hour change, it's going to set off a domino effect for a lot of people. And it's little things like that that I think people don't realize can start that whole stress movement. It's the little things that happen that start to add up and compound. And then before you know it, you need a mental health break. You need to say, I'm not doing this today. I can't do this today. And I think so many people are worried about saying, no, I'm not doing this today. I can't do this today. I need a day for myself, especially, and this is guys are going to crap on me for it, but especially women who are mothers and wives and work a job and take care of the home and do all these things. It's a lot. Single fathers, and I'm not saying that they don't have the exact same issues, but a lot of weight is placed on women that's not placed on men. That's just, it is how it is. And we're all fully aware of it, whether people want to believe it or not. There is more stress placed on a woman's shoulders, especially when there are children involved and a spouse and a home and a job. It's a lot. And it's hard for women to say, I need a me day, because we don't want to let our families down. We don't want to let our work down. We don't want to let anybody down. We feel like we're Superwoman, right? And we can do everything ourselves, Wonder Woman, if you will. So it's hard for women in general to say, I need a me day. And a lot of people think that me time means going to the grocery store or doing your random, things. That's not it. That's still doing wife things, mom things, household things, job things. A me day where you go, I'm just going to go hang out at the pool all day. I'm going to go sit in my car for 12 hours if I want to. It's very difficult, but I think people need to start taking those moments when they can, because if you don't, your mental health is going to suffer, and then you're just going to lose your shit one day. I've done it over the winter. I had just like a small emotional breakdown. I talked about it over on SquirrelTribe 2.0, and I kind of mentioned it to you guys as well, but I needed just time because I was so stressed about absolutely everything, and everything felt like it was on my shoulders, which it wasn't, but because I take a lot of responsibility for everything and I try to make sure everybody's happy and covered and taken care of, I put myself on the back burner, and it caught up to me. And I needed a day or two where I was just like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not lifting a finger. Don't ask me to feed you. Don't ask me to wash clothes. Don't ask me to walk the dog. Don't ask me to do anything. And normally I wouldn't do that because I would feel guilty for taking time for me. I don't know why. I've always been that way. Nothing my husband has done. He's amazing. I didn't feel good yesterday morning. He got up. What can I do for you? He made my hot tea. He brought me a sweatshirt. He did everything possible. He took my kid to our kid to school. He did absolutely everything. But I still felt guilty for not doing everything myself, because that's just how I am for unknown reasons. I got to do everything all myself, right? And that also helps add to stress and non-mental clarity, I think is the word I'm going to go with. And I know this is a very long video, and I do apologize for it. For those of you who are like, come on, ma'am, like, get to the point. That's the other thing. That stresses me the hell out when people are like, get to the point. No, this is how I talk. I ramble and I squirrel off and I whatever. That's just the way it's going to be. It will never change. So if at any point in time you can't deal with it, it is better for you mentally and me mentally for you to just get the fuck away and go. Like, just leave. And I think people forget that as well. You're not forced to be here. I'm not forced to be here. I'm here because I want to be here, because I enjoy talking to you guys, because I like the things we talk about, because I appreciate you, because I respect you guys, and because I feel like, generally speaking, y'all respect me and appreciate me as well. And it's a really nice relationship that the majority of us have built. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to cut ties with people in situations that harm them more than they help them. So for 2024, y'all, I know we're, 3.5 months in, but for 2024, I think we all need to sit back and go, listen, I'm not going to let this year be the year that is my undoing, if you will, like my mental undoing. This year, I'm going to make sure that if it does not serve me, protect me, strengthen me, guide me, it's not going to be part of my life. And I feel like a lot of people need to think about that. If it's not something that brings you happiness, peace, joy, or something at the end of the day, is it worth your time? If it brings you anguish and stress and unhappiness and sadness and any of that kind of stuff, why do you want that to be part of your time? So if my channel brings you any of that kind of stuff, leave. Don't let me be the person who brings you any sort of negative feeling. That's not what I want to do. That's not who I want to be. And if that is the case, please go. I love you immensely. I hope you're better on the other side. You know what I mean? But anyway, this all started because of Elise Meyer and her basically, my hair is falling down, her basically stopping her Instagram and her TikTok and possibly her YouTube. I don't know why. She didn't specify why, but I have to assume it's because the stress. She needs a mental health day because she does deal with anxiety and depression and all these things. And she does have a child who's going through a lot. So hopefully her time away from the spotlight, if you will be very beneficial and helpful to her spiritually, mentally, physically, right? Emotionally, all of it. And I think we all need to take a step back at some point and really reevaluate what it is that we want in life versus what we think we're supposed to want, what we need in life versus what we think we're supposed to need in life, and who we want to be, not who we think we're supposed to be, and really evaluate what you are doing and consuming and talking, who you're talking to and relying on and things like that throughout your day, really evaluate if it's something that helps you or hurts you, and make some changes accordingly. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. Listen, I really appreciate you letting me have this conversation, because again, it's not the way we talk over here. This is something I would do on SquirrelTribe 2.0, but I wanted to do this over here with you guys because I feel like we all need to have this conversation, not just certain groups. This is everybody is affected by this kind of thing. So here we are. So thank you for letting me have this conversation. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's 23 minutes, my bad. 27 minutes, because I forgot there's a little bit in the beginning. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you immensely. I hope you all know that, and I love you immensely as well, which I'm sure a lot of you know already. But that's it. Deal with your stress. Don't let this world like punch you down. That's what it feels like happens a lot of time. Remember that you are worth it. You are amazing. You are exactly who you're supposed to be if you're happy with who you are and where you are. If not, make the changes according to what you want and need in order to be happy, you know? So that's that. See you guys again tomorrow. It's probably going to be news related, less this conversation, but I'm glad we had this talk. So thank you. I love you. Goodbye.